So what I have in front of me is a article from Yahoo discussing how the stimulus might not arrive when a lot of people thought that it would. Allow me to read this to you and then I'll talk about it. So the title is $1,400 stimulus could arrive as early as February, but bet on April. Allow me to proceed. The economic stimulus check section of the $1.9 trillion coronavirus relief plan Joe Biden unveiled last week, in a word, disappointing for many Americans who had expected something a bit more. After promising $2,000 checks to supplement the $600 checks that were passed as part of the stopgap spending bill at the end of 2020. Setting this unfortunate bit of creative addition aside, the question becomes when exactly the undersized but still desperately needed payments will actually go out, alongside the trillions of dollars in aid, vaccine funding, and more that will help Americans overcome the pandemic. The news on that front is also disappointing, although not unexpected, as his package is just a legislative idea rather than an introduced bill. Unsurprisingly, it looks like it will be months before that happens. The likely best case scenario is that Congress passes a bill by mid-February and money hits bank accounts before the end of the month. More likely is that a package is passed by the end of March and checks go out in early April. Why the delay? Republicans are likely to push back on the relief package, lowering its price tag from nearly $2 trillion to $1.5 trillion, analyst Hunter Hammond told CBS News. Even though additional payments are widely supported and not expected to be a point of contention in negotiations, haggling over other aspects of the bill will likely last a while. And Congress isn't exactly known for working expeditiously, even when the health of the economy is at stake. These calculations are based on Democrats gaining the support of the 10 GOP senators needed to invoke cloture and end the filibuster of the bill. In the unlikely event that they don't make enough concessions to the right to do so, Democrats could use a special process known as budget reconciliation. It would only require the support of the 50 Democratic senators and soon to be president of the Senate, Kamala Harris. She already is. But it could also delay the passage of the bill. The bottom line is that more stimulus payments are probably coming, but they probably aren't coming anytime soon. So that's the situation. That's what's currently going on. You have been lied to by the people that should be serving you. And, well, what do you mean? They lied to us? What do you mean? They said they were going to give you $2,000. Remember, vote for Warnock and Ossoff, get $2,000. If you vote for the Reverend and John, you'll get a $2,000 check. You know what? I think I might play the clip. I'm going to play the clip right now if I have it. He said it. He said it. Joe Biden said if you vote for the Reverend and John, you'll get a $2,000 check. Now, some people, Democratic defenders are trying to come out and say, oh, well, they meant a total of $2,000. Well, why the fuck didn't they say a total of $2,000? Why did they say you'll get a $2,000 check and make people think that the checks that they will be receiving would be $2,000 instead of $1,400? They should have said you'll get a $1,400 check. So now people won't feel fucking shafted. You see what I mean? It's so funny, and people have been bringing up to me. I've been seeing on several news outlets, credible news outlets, that the Democrats didn't even expect to win the House and the Senate. Not the House. They didn't even expect to win the Senate. So now that they have, they're kind of out on their ass, oh shit. Now we don't have any excuse not to do anything, which is pathetic in its own right, and we know it's pathetic. But I've also been, I read an article of people that were disappointed, in Georgia. Of course, Georgia voters are disappointed because they went and voted for these fucking people. They're not going to get what they voted for them for, or it seems like they might not receive it. And, people were saying I was knocking on doors, I was doing this and that, the whole nine, telling people that if you voted for these individuals, you would receive a $2,000 check. And now it seems like they're not doing it. And now I seem like a bad person and a liar. That's how people in Georgia are feeling right now, that we're lobbying for Raphael Warnock and John Ossoff. to be senators. This is pathetic. This is absolutely pathetic. I mean, what are you going to do? Like, what are you going to do? Millions of people are struggling. I believe it was last week. Yes, it was last week. 900,000 people filed for unemployment. People need this money, man. Why are you playing around? Why are the Democrats playing around? And I read an article from the Daily Poster that they're considering more tax cuts for the rich. So the money that they're not going to give you, that extra $600 to go with that $400 to make the $2,000 check, that's going to go into tax breaks for rich people. You see what I mean? This is why they lose. And this is why they may continue to lose. Now, I can't predict the future, much like anyone else. But if what you're providing, apart from the Republicans, is something that's just a little bit better, then that's not enough to coerce people to continuously support you. You have to really show them, like, hey, we're different. Because a lot of people can't see the difference. Because you don't allow them to. You don't show them that you're different. This is so ridiculous. Every single one of those people, Joe Biden, they should just be ashamed of themselves. They should be ashamed of themselves. $1,400 checks instead of the original $2,000 that they were promised. And I'm not one of those people that'll go, oh, well, maybe they did. They were ambiguous enough. Nah, fuck that, bro. They said $2,000. That's what they said. So that's what you should receive. Honestly, I'm not with all the fanfare and oh, well, it could be interpreted several different ways. No, it can't. They said 2,000. They meant 2,000. And they won the Senate races, and now they're reneging and saying, oh, well, nah, we can't do the 2,000, we'll do the 1,400. And it might not even come when you expect it to. It should already be here in some form or fashion. You know, and Joe Biden, naive Joe Biden, wants to do bipartisan support. And then if that doesn't work, do budget reconciliation. But who knows? If the bipartisan support doesn't work, they might just say, oh, well, we tried, and not pass anything. That's the worst nightmare. I hope that doesn't happen. But why not just go straight to budget reconciliation in the first place? It makes no sense. It's like they want to break your brain, you know, and I hate thinking about this stuff sometimes because it's so tiring. But here we go again, the Democratic Party fucking over its voters.